The Green Bay Packers face a significant challenge at the quarterback position that can't be ignored. What unfolded in Denver was nothing short of a disaster for the team, revealing a critical weakness that could have long-term implications. Despite some players stepping up during Sunday's game, the problems began to surface as early as Friday's joint practice, which also failed to inspire confidence. While one subpar practice might be overlooked if followed by a strong performance, the struggles during the actual game highlight a more pressing issue. The Packers are in dire need of a reliable backup quarterback. Should anything happen to Jordan Love, Green Bay must have a solid contingency plan in place to avoid scrambling for wins during his absence. To address this pressing need, the Packers have several options to consider for a backup quarterback role. Ryan Tannehill. There has been widespread speculation and discussion among both fans and analysts that Green Bay should seriously consider signing Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill is arguably the most prominent name available on the market and would likely require a significant portion of the Packers' remaining salary cap, which is estimated to be around $22 million. Tannehill brings with him a wealth of experience and could serve as a temporary replacement in the event of a short-term absence of Jordan Love. Moreover, he could potentially take on a role similar to Nick Foles, who famously led the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl victory. With Tannehill's guidance and experience, the Packers' talented roster could still make a deep playoff run, even if Love were to be sidelined due to injury. Taylor Heinicke. Another viable option for the Packers is Taylor Heinicke, a seasoned veteran who has navigated the ups and downs of the NFL since 2015. Heinicke's career experienced a revival during his time with the Washington Commanders between 2020 and 2022. Notably, Heinicke led Washington to a victory at Lambeau Field in 2022, a game that held special significance for him as a lifelong Packers fan. Heinicke has a unique tradition of buying a pair of Jordans in the team colors of every team he defeats as a starter, adding a personal connection to his journey in the NFL. With Atlanta seemingly set at quarterback with Kirk Cousins and top 10 draft pick Michael Penix Jr., Heinicke could be a realistic option for Green Bay, either through a trade or as a potential cut-down candidate. In the 2024 preseason, Heinicke completed 12 of 27 passes for 125 yards, with most of his production coming in Atlanta's second preseason game against the Baltimore Ravens, where he completed 8 of 16 passes for 114 yards. Throughout his career, Heinicke has appeared in 34 games, completing 604 of 966 passes for 6,635 yards, 39 touchdowns, and 28 interceptions. His experience and familiarity with the game could make him a valuable asset for the Packers. Trevor Siemian. Trevor Siemian, another experienced NFL journeyman, represents a cost-effective option for the Packers. Siemian's experience as a starter, particularly during his time with the Denver Broncos in 2016, where he threw for 3,401 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions over 14 starts, showcases his ability to step into a backup role. Last season, Siemian was brought in by the New York Jets to provide relief for Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle after the injury to former Packers legend Aaron Rodgers. Siemian managed to secure a 2-1 record in the 3 games he started, although his statistics were not particularly impressive, with just 2 touchdowns against 4 interceptions. However, given the state of the Jets at that time, Siemian's performance was a minor bright spot in an otherwise challenging season. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, another former Jets quarterback, is a more unconventional option but one that the Packers might consider. Although Wilson is not a top choice as a starter, his youth and potential make him an intriguing option for Green Bay. Wilson remains a work in progress at the NFL level, but with the guidance of Packers quarterbacks coach Tom Clements, he could develop into a more reliable backup. During his collegiate career at BYU, Wilson impressed with 3,692 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions in his junior season. While he still has much to prove in the NFL, Wilson has shown flashes of his potential, such as leading the Jets to a comeback victory against the Buffalo Bills after Aaron Rodgers' injury. Additionally, he strung together 3 consecutive wins over the Denver Broncos, Philadelphia Eagles, and New York Giants. Wilson was traded to Denver after last season, and in Sunday's preseason game, he completed 2 of 6 passes for 29 yards and a touchdown against the Packers' reserves. Although Wilson has room for improvement, he could provide Green Bay with a younger, more dynamic backup option. Let Michael Pratt and Sean Clifford continue to battle asterisk. While this option might not be the most popular among Packers fans, it is perhaps the most realistic. Both Michael Pratt and Sean Clifford, young quarterbacks with potential, have struggled in different ways. Clifford, for instance, has appeared a step slow at times, reminiscent of his performance against the Cleveland Browns. In the game against Denver, Clifford completed 6 of 10 passes for 43 yards, but threw a costly interception. Despite this setback, Clifford showed promise by leading the Packers to 3 first downs, 1 through the air, another with his legs on an 11-yard run, and a third via a roughing the passer penalty. Pratt, on the other hand, has a strong arm but sometimes lacks the necessary touch, as evidenced by an overthrown pass to Malik Heath on a 3rd down play. He also missed badly on a slant route to Grant Dubose, throwing well behind the intended target. Pratt's struggles culminated in a turnover when he lost a fumble on a strip sack at the Packers' own 20-yard line. While it is common for rookie and second-year quarterbacks to experience growing pains, the Packers are not in a position to draft and develop talent at this stage, especially in a win-now mode. Ideally, Green Bay should attempt to stash both Pratt and Clifford on the practice squad, allowing them to continue their development and potentially compete for a roster spot next year. However, if this approach seems unlikely, the Packers may need to let these two battle it out, sign a veteran quarterback regardless, and go with the winner while carrying 3 quarterbacks through the season. In conclusion, the Packers must address their backup quarterback situation promptly to avoid being caught unprepared. With several options available, ranging from experienced veterans like Ryan Tannehill and Trevor Siemian to younger prospects like Zach Wilson, Green Bay has a range of choices to consider. Whether they opt for a seasoned backup or continue to develop their young talent, the Packers must ensure they have a reliable plan in place to support Jordan Love and keep their playoff hopes alive.